keep it brief. It has been a very hectic 2 days of 2 workshops. We started with the DOT TSTSI workshop on achieving leadership in standards, where we discussed leveraging India's potential through IT. And then other side of the coin, we discussed enabling organizational frameworks for participating in standards. So this was the theme of the 2 workshops. What we learned was IP and standards go hand in hand. They are two sides of the same coin. We also learned now established that standards are very, very important. The extent to which organization wants to engage with standards and the drivers may be different, but it is established that standards are important, especially if a country, if you want to, take a leadership position in this driven world and in the future. Some of the drivers for various segments of the ecosystem, like for the industry, for startups, or for the operators, right now in this telecom and technology-driven world is money. Where is the money? So, and people are wondering, are we getting ARPU? Are we able to justify our investments? And that's the key driving factor, which is why maybe there's some hesitancy on contributing or taking a leadership position, a leading position in participating in the technology standards, or it's just a hesitancy or a wait and watch. But of course, the operators are keeping a watch on that ecosystem. And there's the issue of possibility. So you have researchers, academia, they are doing research and they already know what is with technology. Like Subash mentioned, you can have new waveforms, you can have terahertz communication, etc., etc. So there are some possibilities already available, and academia, especially in India, are also cutting edge research in that segment. So their drivers are: I want to do research and I want to publish papers. Now, how does this tie into standards? Is the elephant in the room? For the applications, vertical industries, what are the use cases? Like, Mr. Sutar just mentioned the problem. IoT was a case in 4G, and then there was massive IoT in 5G. Has it really deployed to the extent that it was out to? So those are some drivers that have been been the focus areas for different segments. Then also draw upon what Garima mentioned, use cases and the stakeholders. Do we have a kind of a mothership use cases, like what she mentioned, the SDGs. So probably the SDGs established now for us on the earth, we need sustainable. Even in 60, sustainability has become key drive a requirement. So the SDGs could become the anchoring use. And this is from where we can drive certain application use cases, which in turn could get us to rally together to bring appropriate technologies, IP, and let's see what's happening on the standard landscape, 3GPP, ITU, IEEE, and TST, etc. And what's happening where, and are use cases really getting addressed? If they are not getting addressed, how can we ensure that these use cases get incorporated in dialogue that is happening in these forums? Then in the morning, Professor Debabrata Das mentioned TRL. So we are still at TRL 1 to 3 stage. What about how do we go to TRL 9 stage? Is there enough motivation on the academia front, taking their research into patents, into papers, patents, into standards, or like yesterday somebody said, do you need kick? You need some kind of motivation. So what will get academia to collaborate with the industry, maybe come together and help conduct research sky research, to some focused research, feed into some innovative solutions, can be maybe prototype tested in a controlled environment, then in the field, and then maybe taken into standards. So those are some things that more like questions that have been raised during the last 2 days, which still need answers. Of course, there are some suggestions. These are suggestions which come as, solving a part of the problem. But at the larger, if you see it from a holistic point of view, probably the suggestion that came was, one of the suggestions that came from the panel was, all segments may need to come together. So the research, the industry, and the startups need to come together. Need as in they should want to come together and help each other, leverage each other's expertise, and then try to achieve some goals. The goal could be the Bharat 6G vision, which says affordability, sustainability, and ubiquity. That's vision. And can these three entities come together and help achieve this vision? Now, what will be required? First, there should be intent. We should agree to this mother vision. And once that intent is there, some of the interested parties can maybe sit down in more roundtables or panel discussions, work out what all support they need to the appropriate forums. We in TSDI would be very happy to facilitate these acting as a conduit for these expectations to go to the government, to the regulator, to the various segments. And last but not the least, standardization is a marathon, and it's more like a relay race, what Subhash mentioned. Each segment, you need a certain specialized skill. So we need to come together. And that is the enabling framework we are looking for, both within the organization as well as outside the organization, as one big ecosystem. I hope that leaves food for thought. And the food chain that Subhash was talking about, maybe we can deliberate on that in future such workshops. This particular workshop, before I end, this particular workshop was the inaugural workshop on dialogue on achieving excellence in standards, especially after we've tasted blood with the 5GI. So already there we are walking in step with the world, mature STOs and forums. Last year there was a standards conference held in July sometime, where Mr. N.G. Subramaniam, our chair, mentioned that we should have some kind of a standards maturity framework. So people should maybe, start by just start participating in standards meetings. And after they've understood the game, they should maybe start supporting some contributions, and then they should learn how they should start contributing, and then maybe take leadership positions. TSDI Secretariat, the technical experts that we have, Guna, Vishnu, Mr. Madan, Mr. Mittal, have been working with some companies who are there in this room, have been mentoring them as to how they can, learn and understand the nuances, the fine nuances, and then start contributing. And we are seeing some conversions here. So we look forward to more such engagement from the members. And at the end, we will have more such workshops traveling around to various other cities of the country. I'm very happy to announce that INVAS and Sientra have offered to hold the next workshop, Standards Awareness Workshop, somewhere in near Chandigarh. The date and all will be announced soon. Thank you very much, INVAS and Sientra, for coming forward for holding the next workshop. Hopefully, the panel discussion, the questions that were left unanswered, or those can be continued in the workshop that happens the INVAS team. Thank you very much.